The Chicago front office has officially ignited a monumental behind-the-scenes operation that proves they are betting the entire future of the franchise on Caleb Williams. General Manager Ryan Poles just dropped a massive, unexpected bombshell confirming that the front office is already crunching the numbers for a record-shattering contract extension. If you thought the hype around our superstar quarterback was already deafening, wait until you hear the staggering financial gymnastics they are plotting right now. If you are hyped about the future of this franchise and want more relentless daily coverage, hit that like button, share this with your crew, and subscribe right now. Are we actually witnessing the end of the darkest quarterback curse in the history of professional football? Think about this for a second. We are barely digesting the immediate aftermath of everything that happened last season, trying to catch our breath, and Ryan Poles is already making massive headlines. Speaking directly to the Chicago Sun-Times this week, Poles referred to a massive undertaking going on inside the building as a summer project. But make no mistake, this is not just some casual off-season homework assignment. Poles explicitly stated that the organization is making tangible, aggressive progress on planning a historic extension for Caleb Williams. He actually went on the record to say it is truly exciting for the franchise to even be in a position to think about planning for a moment like this. They have their top salary cap architect, Matt Feinstein, actively digging into the complex math right now as we speak. They are holding deep, preliminary conversations inside the war room to ensure every single roster move, every draft pick, and every free agent signing they make moving forward takes this colossal future payday into intense consideration. Here is the truly mind-blowing part of this entire situation that really shows their hand. Caleb Williams is not even legally eligible to sign a contract extension under league rules until after this upcoming season officially concluded. We are talking about the off-season of 2027 before pen can even mathematically meet paper. Yet, the front office is already bracing for impact today. They are structuring the long-term financial future of this team around the absolute, unwavering certainty that he is the franchise savior we have all been waiting for. Barring some catastrophic injury or an unfathomable, monumental drop in his on-field production, they are fully planning to back up the Brinks truck in 2027. And let's be entirely honest with ourselves as fans who have suffered for decades. We should be screaming from the rooftops with pure excitement. When was the last time this organization possessed a quarterback truly worth making a historic, market-altering financial commitment to? You might jokingly whisper the name Jay Cutler, but even then, it never felt like a sure thing. It never felt like this. This feels entirely different. This dominant feels like the undeniable birth of a dynasty. Now, obviously, Poles did acknowledge in his statements that there are still critical developmental steps Caleb needs to take to reach his ultimate ceiling. He was undeniably electric last year. He delivered in massive, heart-stopping moments that had us jumping out of our seats and believing in miracles again. But the down-to-down consistency needs to become absolutely ironclad. We all see the jaw-dropping arm talent. We all recognize he is operating on a verified, undeniable superstar trajectory. If the front office didn't firmly believe he was destined for all-time greatness, they absolutely would not be doing a granular deep dive into an extension a full year before it was even permitted. Question of the day: do you believe Caleb Williams will play well enough this year to become the highest-paid player in the history of the sport? And what exact dollar amount do you think he truly deserves? Drop your predictions in the comments below right now because I want to see exactly where everyone's head is at. Because when we start talking about the actual, real-world numbers, it gets dizzying incredibly fast. We have to look at the current landscape of the elite guys across the league. The top-tier quarterbacks are currently raking in anywhere between $55 and $60 million annually, and the price tag goes up every single time a new deal is signed. You look at Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, and Lamar Jackson comfortably sitting around that $52 to $55 million mark, though Lamar is also rapidly approaching another extension window. Then you have Dak Prescott sitting high and mighty, a full $5 million ahead of the rest of the pack in average annual value. If Caleb takes that monumental leap forward this year, if he maintains that clutch, cold-blooded gene while smoothing out the week-to-week rhythm, I absolutely refuse to rule out the possibility of him completely resetting the quarterback market entirely. We could easily be looking at a terrifying number climbing into the high 50s, or possibly even crossing that unprecedented $62 million threshold. When you possess a top-3 quarterback in this league, You are essentially forced to hand over a blank check, and frankly, you do it with a massive smile on your face because the alternative is being completely irrelevant. But before pure panic sets in about a single player completely consuming our salary cap and paralyzing the rest of the roster, take a deep breath. This is exactly why Matt Feinstein is burning the midnight oil on this right now. There is a very specific, calculated order of operations to prevent salary cap hell, and it involves a strategy we recently watched the Seattle Seahawks execute brilliantly. Think back to how Seattle handled Jackson Smith-Njigba's massive extension, a structural blueprint that is incredibly relevant for our front office. If Caleb balls out and proves he is the guy, the absolute first move the front office will make is exercising his fully guaranteed fifth-year rookie option. Only then specific trigger is pulled to finalize the massive, record-breaking extension. By doing it in this exact sequence, you manipulate the salary cap hits beautifully over the long term. Seattle essentially gave Jackson Smith-Njigba a 4-year deal that reset the wide receiver market at an astonishing $42 million annually. However, because they strategically utilized the fifth-year option, his actual cap hit does not even come close to reflect that massive number until the fifth year of what became a complex 6-year structural arrangement. The immediate cash flow satisfies the billionaire owner, and the massive upfront escrow guarantees make the player and his family ecstatic, but the actual salary cap burden placed on the team remains surprisingly low in the immediate future. If Caleb secures an extension worth, say, $62 million a year, anchoring it to that fifth-year option means the front office can realistically keep his cap hit well under $30 million for the first couple of seasons of the brand-new deal. It will not be until the late 20s or early 30s that the number artificially balloons into the stratosphere. And by the time that balloon payment finally arrives, the guaranteed money has drastically reduced, the overall league salary cap has skyrocketed yet again, and you are likely already sitting down to negotiate his third career contract to stretch the money out once again. It is brilliant, completely legal salary cap gymnastics, and it is the only viable way to build a championship juggernaut while simultaneously paying a top-of-the-market quarterback. Of course, the undeniable clue to this entire financial masterclass is what actually happens between the White Lions this upcoming season. He has to evolve. We know he has a literal rocket launcher attached to his right shoulder. We know his pocket mobility is unparalleled, breaking out of surefire sacks that would crush mere mortals and making off-schedule magic look absolutely routine. But now, entering year 2 of operating within Ben Johnson's brilliantly crafted offensive architecture, the expectations are astronomically high. He just needs to find 2 or 3 more easily. Rhythm completes every single Sunday to keep the chains moving. If he bumps that overall completion percentage comfortably into the mid-60s, the entire breach transforms from exciting to a downright unstoppable machine. There is truly no visible ceiling on his potential if he just tightens those mental screws for a full 60 minutes every single week. However, there is one massive, unpredictable curveball sitting right in the middle of all these perfectly laid front office plans. Caleb Williams currently does not employ a traditional, certified sports agent. We all remember the wild, unprecedented storylines surrounding this exact dynamic when he was first drafted, and it adds an incredibly unique, almost chaotic layer of complexity to a negotiation of this massive magnitude. Will he ultimately hire a powerhouse agency when the time finally comes to talk real money, or will he take the unconventional route we have seen from stars like Lamar Jackson and Jaden Daniels by representation kept strictly inside the family? When a traditional, predictably motivated agent is completely removed from the equation, standard negotiation tactics often get thrown entirely out the window. It becomes intensely personal. But this is the massive silver lining that should help us all sleep perfectly at night. Caleb Williams has cultivated an incredibly strong, deeply authentic relationship with both Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. There is a palpable, absolute trust inside the walls of that building right now. He knows, without a shadow of a doubt, that this franchise is moving with terrifying momentum in the right direction. Now, that absolutely does not mean he is going to offer up some friendly hometown discount to do the team a favor. Superstar quarterbacks do not take paid cuts, and frankly, they never should. But that established, battle-tested mutual respect dramatically reduces the chances of a toxic, drawn-out contract dispute that bleeds into training camp. The foundational relationship is rock solid, and when those eligibility windows finally open next offseason, The organization will be walking to the table with a financial master plan already flawlessly executed in the background. They are preparing right now, working tirelessly in the shadows, so that when the defining moment of this franchise arrives, there is zero hesitation. The era of elite quarterback play is finally here, and the front office is ready to pay absolutely whatever it takes to keep it.